day.
Through their service, veterans have our backs. Now we should have theirs. Learn more at gotyoursix.org.
From the Duke & Air Heating and Cooling Mitsubishi Electric Studios, this is 93 WIBC HD1 HD2, Indianapolis.
Government employees working without pay again. I'm Carmen Roberts, Fox News. Federal employees, including TSA agents, FEMA staff, and the U.S. Coast Guard, are working without pay today after another partial government shutdown started at midnight this morning. The shutdown involves funding for Homeland Security and ICE.
This is now the third government shutdown in less than 6 months, as Democrats and Republicans remain at odds over DHS funding, and both sides are blaming each other for failing to reach a deal. Democrats say a White House offer falls short of the changes they want to see for ICE. The White House, for their part, says they've been involved in good faith negotiations and that Democrats are being unreasonable.
The Democrats have gone crazy. They're radical left lunatics. That's why their cities are so unsafe.
ICE still receives funding through the One Big Beautiful Bill.
Fox's Madeline Rivera reporting. As the search for Nancy Guthrie approaches 3 weeks, deputies and the FBI have not arrested anyone or taken anyone into custody. Fox's Matt Finn spoke to Pima County Sheriff Chris Nanos about a man deputies questioned earlier in the week near the border with Mexico.
He was a delivery person.
He was in the area. Okay.
And we verified that.
Was that a cell phone ping or sighting?
I'm not going to get into all of that. It's more than one. So a number of issues that came up, we looked at and said, okay, this is a target. Let's go see what's up with this. And we approached it with a search warrant and talked to the gentleman, and he was very cooperative.
We're starting to see a bit of a pattern here where law enforcement has warned us they are actively questioning people, and perhaps they're bringing out all the bells and the whistles, all the SWAT vehicles, simply just to question someone.
And last night, investigators swarmed a house about 2 miles from Guthrie's Tucson home where they briefly detained 3 people. They also towed an SUV from a restaurant parking lot. America's listening to Fox News.
In the summer of 1985, Southern California wasn't just hot, it was terrifying. A shadow stalked the suburbs. They called him the Night Stalker.
So far, 6 communities have been the target of the so-called Night Stalker.
Fox Nation Investigates presents Beware the Night Stalker.
You admit to being evil, Richard?
We are all evil in some form or another, are we not?
Listen and follow now at foxtruecrime.com or wherever you get your favorite podcasts. Get those W-2s ready. Tax season has arrived. It's the Fox Business Tax Tips. Fox News Radio's Ginny Casola and Hillary Barsky are joined by the hosts of the Fox Business Network to provide you with the latest tips, tricks, and updates on filing your taxes. From deadlines to tax law changes to the latest deductions, we'll cover it all to make sure you keep that hard-earned money where it belongs, in your pocket. Listen and follow the Fox Business Tax Tips at Fox News Podcast. 93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Putting them out of business. I'm Jarrett Lewis. Here's what's trending this hour. Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy taking action against the employer, school, and certifier of an illegal immigrant responsible for a fatal crash in Northeast Indiana earlier this month. The Department of Transportation has shut down the trucker's employer, AJ Partners, along with 2 carriers and a school involved in certifying him. Duffy confirmed the move in a social media post put out on Friday. The next opponent for the Indiana Hoosier men's basketball team is 8th-ranked Illinois on Sunday, but they are battling more than just their next opponent. John Herrick explains.
There are just 6 games left in Indiana's regular season, and they are 17-8 on the year. On Friday, their head coach, Darren DeVries, said it's important to keep his players both healthy and locked in.
You know, this time of year, practice-wise, you cut back quite a bit anyway as you're getting into February because you do want to prioritize keeping everybody as fresh as possible so that, on game day, you got everything you need to go compete.
As for this game against Illinois, DeVries said that Illinois is both physical and they can score. Tip-off at 1 o'clock Sunday afternoon with pregame coverage starting at noon right here on 93 WIBC. John Herrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
As for the Purdue Boilermakers, they're in Iowa City on Sunday to face off with the Hawkeyes. That game tips off at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. And students at Hamilton Southeastern High School in Fishers are honoring the memory of 17-year-old student Haley Busby, who passed away in January. They are distributing T-shirts, hoodies, and sweatshirts in her honor. The clothing sales have raised over $5,600 so far for Busby's family, with the pink ribbon design symbolizing her favorite color and an HSE logo. I'm Jarrett Lewis on The Level on the go and on WIBC.com. Here's the forecast from the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
For Sunday, that rain will exit. Partly cloudy skies in the afternoon. High temperatures getting in the low to mid 50s. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Ryan Morse for 93 WIBC.
You still thinking job change in the new year?
Yeah, I need something that's in high demand and more stable in this economy.
IT?
Yeah, cybersecurity, maybe even AI.
That's what I did.
Really? How?
Went to My Computer Career. You don't need any prior experience, and you could start your new career in a matter of months. A lot of IT pros go to school there, too, to level up.
Sweet. Are classes online or on campus?
Both.
Wow, I'll check it out. Thanks.
Make this your year. Take the free career evaluation now at mycomputercareer.edu, an Elite CompTIA certification partner.
Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
I'm Chris Jakimick. I served in the United States Air Force, and I deployed 3 times. So in 2017, I was serving as an Air Force First Sergeant. Our motto in that role is "My job is people, everyone is my business." But unfortunately, in that year, I would lose my own brother, Lance Corporal Adam Jakimick, to suicide. The majority of veteran suicides are from guns. I store my weapons securely, not only for myself, but for my family. Store all your guns securely. Help stop suicide. My service never stops.
Brought to you by End Family Fire and the Ad
IMI
Council.
is hiring CDL Class B drivers for their ready-mix trucks. Receive a great starting wage, outstanding benefits, and a generous retirement plan. Learn more at driveimi.com.
A singer in a smoky room, the smell of wine and cheap perfume. For a smile they can share the night.
This is Saturday Night on the Circle on 93 WIBC.
Welcome back, Indianapolis, to another edition of Saturday Night on the Circle. And we have a guest producer in the producer's fishbowl, producer Kylan on the scene. Pushing those buttons and doing the things to make the show function. We appreciate you, Kylan. You always do a spectacular job.
Thank you. And to say that I get 2 days with you coming on tomorrow, not to spoil anything.
Well, it's not spoiling anything if we preview the audience that there will be another edition of Antique Show and Tell tomorrow for President's Day. Get excited about that. I'm bringing in not one, but 2 presidential artifacts. 2, ladies and gentlemen. So get excited for that. I think you're really going to enjoy it. Some historical artifacts from both World War I and World War II.
That's on the first day. 11:45 is when Ethan will be joining us.
Yep. I'll probably be in the studio a little bit sooner, just that way I can get everything
absolutely.
set up.
You guys, you'll have to tune in. It's going to be great.
I was talking to Kylan before we got the segment started. Hammer and Nigel have temptingly left some bottled beers right in the corner of the studio here, and it's not fair, I tell yous. It's not fair because it's already been partially drank. You can tell they've taken a few from the beer koozie, so I think they've already had their Beer Sample Friday, but at the same time, there's a big old sign that they put right in front of the beer that says, "Do not touch." It's for Beer Sample Friday. But you can't leave samples behind in a studio unguarded and not expect people to take some free samples. I think that's a little bit unfair. But I'm not going to touch it. The sign is there. They actually, took the time to make a Word document and print it out. But I did get in trouble a few weeks ago for a similar reason. Here at the Radio 1 studios, we have a break room in the basement. We have a smaller break room on our floor. There's also a 3rd floor coffee room. We can get the coffee from the coffee room. There's no problem with that. But then there's also a basement break room. And I had noticed there were some Cokes that were tucked in the corner. And I took a look at the expiration date. And these Cokes are out of date. They're bad. They went bad in December. So here I am, assuming, well, they probably got left behind by the remodel crew as they were finishing up the work for the building as we transitioned over in December, and nobody wants them anymore. So I went ahead and took one. Big mistake. Big mistake. I got an email from producer Matt that says, "Hey, somebody check the cameras down there. There's cameras everywhere, and those are actually Buckingham's Cokes. Those aren't for us." Who's Buckingham? Apparently Buckingham are the people that own the building. I didn't even know that. I thought Radio 1 owned the building, but that's Buckingham's little break room down in the basement. So don't take expired Coke that's left unguarded if you haven't been explicitly invited to. They will check the cameras for that, believe it or not. You know who they should be checking the cameras for are these billionaire pedophiles running around documenting their crimes. But unfortunately, it seems like the federal government is uninterested in prosecuting the billionaire pedophile industrialist class that's running around here in America, committing unspeakable atrocities on youths. And the government has been incredibly schizophrenic in its response to the Epstein files because they have multiple contradictory claims that are going on. Of course, the Department of Justice has already announced and revealed that more than 1,000 girls and possibly more were victimized by Jeffrey Epstein. But at the same time, they expect us to believe that they were trafficked to nobody in particular. There's no actionable information in the Epstein files. And yeah, there's a lot of nude pictures of women and minor girls, but they're not pictured with anybody in particular. So this is just absolutely ridiculous. They're trafficked to nobody at all. Videos and photos seized from Epstein's home in New York, Florida, and the Virgin Islands, according to the FBI, didn't depict victims being abused or implicate anyone else in his crimes. But they said that only one Epstein victim, which was Virginia Guffrey, who unfortunately passed away, claims that she was lent out to his rich friends, but FBI agents were not able to find other victims telling a similar story. Yet, in the Pam Bondi testimony, the Attorney General, as she was before the House Judiciary Committee on Wednesday, when Rashida Tlaib asked her pointed questions about Epstein victims, some of whom were in the audience, she asked them to stand up, self-identify, and reveal whether or not they had been in contact with the Justice Department. And not one of them had. So it doesn't seem like the Justice Department was really interested in getting to the bottom of this situation and expecting us to believe that there was all these files that are being released, pictures of naked girls, and then more than 1,000 victims, but it doesn't connect to anyone, is some gaslighting BS, which is exactly what talk show host Joe Rogan concluded.
FBI concluded Jeffrey Epstein wasn't running a sex trafficking ring for powerful men file show.
So there you go.
Oh, there you go. Who says that? What's that source?
Yeah, it's going around. I just found the place that was showing the headline. It was going around the internet today.
Oh, today?
Yeah, the AP. It's the AP reporting it. Yeah.
Today? Oh, I thought that was. I thought that was from 2005.
This is like the FBI.
I was like,
that's the gaslightiest gaslighting that I've ever heard in my life.
Whoa.
What do they think is going on? Just a bunch of fun, bunch of guys hanging out.
That is.
Being fellas, having cocktails, talking about science.
They're still looking into it, but they don't have any evidence.
Oh.
Doesn't anyone notice this? I feel like I'm taking crazy pills.
There are even connections to the Pizzagate sex scandal that broke a number of years back and was dismissed as conspiracy theory. There was supposed to be a pizza shop in Washington, D.C., and individuals who were using pizza and cheese pizza as code word for underage prostitutes being funneled into the city. And here you have Jeffrey Epstein's doctor who is selling him erectile dysfunction pills, and he is emailing him and asking him after he gets the pills to get some cheese pizza and grape soda together. Now, who in their right mind actually thinks the doctor of this billionaire pedophile is truly asking about cheese pizza and grape soda? Or is that code language for something more sinister, as many of us have every reason to believe? Pam Bondi, though, utterly uninterested in that. In fact, during the testimony, she famously just started ranting about the Dow Jones Industrial Average.
None of them asked Merrick Garland over the last 4 years one word about Jeffrey Epstein. How ironic is that? You know why? Because Donald Trump, the Dow right now is over. The Dow is over $50,000. I don't know why you're laughing. You're a great stock trader, as I hear, Raskin. The Dow is over 50,000 right now. The S&P at almost 7,000. and the NASDAQ smashing records. Americans' 401ks and retirement savings are booming. That's what we should be talking about. We should be talking about making Americans safe. We should be talking about, what does a Dow have to do with anything? That's what they just asked. Are you kidding?
Shut up, silly woman. The Dow Jones doesn't have anything to do with it unless you are alluding to the fact that it is these incredibly connected, billionaire, wealthy, elitist individuals who have the ability to tank the economy that are implicated in this. It also looks especially bad on Pam Bondi that during her campaign to be Florida's attorney general, she specifically said that she would put sex traffickers and pederasts behind bars. This campaign ad has aged incredibly poorly.
Florida ranks 3rd nationally in calls for help for human trafficking, where young women and children are enslaved and abused. I knew we needed all hands on deck. Businesses and hospitals to spot it, our great law enforcement to stop it, and tougher penalties to punish it. We're taking on Medicaid fraud, pill mills, gangs, and more. And I'll fight to put human trafficking monsters where they belong, behind bars.
Oops.
Pam Bondi, our Attorney General.
Well. How the turntables.
You know, to be honest, and it's a disappointing reality that I think we're confronting at this time, we had already suspected that the wealthiest, the most connected, the most influential people were caught up in this scheme. And if that really was the case, which in my opinion it appears to be, why did we ever expect anything would be done about it? Because these people are connected and have influence over the government. They are the power behind the throne. And it is clear that they are doing their darndest to avoid accountability for the disgusting actions that they are implicated in. And we are likely never going to get any closure from this at this point. The Department of Justice has probably scrubbed any incriminating information, although there's still plenty to make a very concerning inferences about the true nature of this. In fact, you had the Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson, who said that if they were to be a full unredacted release of the Epstein files, that it would bring down the government, that it would bring down multiple first world governments because of the size, the scale, the scope of this scandal. That's an indictment right there. Or when you have people like Senator Cynthia Loomis, the Republican from Wyoming, who said originally she didn't care about the Epstein files. Now, there's a problem to begin with, but let's set that to the side for a moment. After she reviewed the congressional unredacted Epstein files, she was quoted as saying, initially her reaction was she didn't care. But now she has seen the error of her ways. Let's see. What was the direct quote there? Initially, the reaction to all this was, I don't care. I don't know what the big deal is. But now I see what the big deal is and why it's worth investigating. Well, we've all been on that page for quite some time now. Probably since before at least 2019 when Jeffrey Epstein was alleged to kill himself. But I'm glad you're on board with the rest of us now, Senator. Unfortunately, there appears to be no accountability from this at all. And at the end of the day, the fact that it is Trump's attorney general who is refusing to pursue this case and pursue indictments against these pederasts is a reflection on himself and on his presidency, because these are the people that he selected and they have let the American people down.
Sultan Ahmed bin Sulayem sent the torture video to Epstein. This is in 2009. So Epstein was saying that. Where are you? Are you okay? I love the torture video.
Jeez.
Whoa! I'm in China. I'll be in the U.S. second week of May. What the fuck, man? And why is his name redacted? Why would your name be redacted if you're not a victim? Like, this is what's crazy about all this. Like, how come you redact some people and you don't redact other people? Like, what is this? This is not good. None of this is good for this administration. It looks terrible. It looks terrible. It looks terrible for Trump when he was saying that none of this was real. This is all a hoax. This is not a hoax. Like, did you not know? Maybe he didn't know, if you want to be charitable. But this is definitely not a hoax. And if you've got redacted people's names and these people aren't victims, you're not protecting the victims. So what are you doing?
Right.
And how come all this is not released?
A good question for another time.
He already had, Jeffrey Epstein, a sweetheart plea deal in 2009 where he pled guilty to pursuing and having a sexual relationship with an underage prostitute. At that point, he was a convicted pedophile. And still, powerful, influential people chose to spend their time with him, including Bill Gates, who now says that that was an unwise decision. I should say so. But why did he make that unwise decision? I think we all know. And Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick as well spent time with Jeffrey Epstein on Sex Pest Island. Of course, Donald Trump says that it was with his family. Ew. But that doesn't make it much better. And any people who spent time with Jeffrey Epstein, especially after he was a convicted pedophile, should be scrutinized heavily. And these people should pay the price. If they won't be prosecuted, then they need to be publicly humiliated until the end of time. Thanks for listening to 93 WIBC. Happy Valentine's Day, by the way. Stay tuned for more. Coming up next, we're going to talk about Indigo. Continues to be a cesspool and a disaster, and we might have a DeCarlos Brown Jr. situation that is brewing on the bus line. More details on that coming up next.
It's JMV. We just had the largest single snowfall in decades. Temps are starting to climb, and that means the thawing will take place and that water ends up in your sump pump. If your pump is old, loud, and who knows if it even works, call the best in plumbing, LD Smith Plumbing and Drains. They're running a great deal right now. Buy a battery backup system and get a free sump pump installed. That's LD Smith Plumbing and Drains.
LD Smith Plumbing.
A dirty, stinking honest.
Are you a parent of a 2 to 8 year old? Listen closely for an exciting offer, then head to abcmouse.com/radio to learn more. By now, you've probably heard of ABC Mouse.
ABC Mouse is like a little one-on-one teacher. It has helped her so much.
We're offering a promo at abcmouse.com/radio to try it for free for a month, then $14.99 per month until canceled. Go to abcmouse.com/radio to see this offer. That's abcmouse.com/radio. Actual ABC Mouse users compensated for their testimonials, sponsored by Age of Learning.
Hi, I'm Lexi, your friend and jeweler at Shane Company, where we're all about you. Your style, your budget, your dream engagement ring. We'll take total care of you. First, come browse all the beautiful settings in our cases. Take your time and try on as many as you want. You'll know when you put your ring on. Your heart will skip a beat. Now, onto your center stone. We can look at different diamond shapes and sizes until we find the perfect match. Come visit us in store, because a friend wants you to get exactly what you want. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
2026 has arrived, America's 250th anniversary, and physical gold remains the ultimate store of value in an unsteady world. Gold has outperformed the S&P 500 over the past 20 years. Central banks are stockpiling it. Why? Because possession is the priority. This week only, Global Coin is offering a museum-quality 1-ounce 2026 MS-70 Gold Eagle at the best price in the country. Today's spot price of gold. No dealer markup. Perfect grade. Government issue. The first 50 buyers receive our hardcover critically acclaimed book, Modern Numismatic Masterpieces, absolutely free. This opportunity is brief. Supply is finite. Once this allocation is gone, it's gone. Call right now, 855-COIN-GOLD. That's 855-COIN-GOLD. No premium, just absolute scarcity, absolute quality, and absolute ownership. Anchor your wealth with the asset that lasts. Call 855-COIN-GOLD.
My name is Teresa Barber. I was in the United States Navy, and I served overseas in the Middle East and Africa. Early on in my career, I had a commander that taught our suicide prevention training, and the very next day, he took his own life. 90% of suicide attempts involving a gun are fatal. My way of continuing my service is to help protect my community by being a responsible gun owner and by storing firearms safely. Store all your guns securely. Help stop suicide.
Brought to you by End Family Fire and the
Got
Ad
cabin
Council.
fever? We've got the ultimate cure. The 31st Annual Indiana Motorcycle and Power Sports Expo is back and better than ever. February 20th through 22nd and 25th through March 1st at the Indiana State Fairgrounds. Featuring the Midwest's largest selection of motorcycles, side-by-sides, ATVs, gear, accessories, and more. Plus Biker Showcase, Tiny Tots Riding Adventure, and the pioneers of Hoosier Motorcycling. Your ticket also includes admission to the Ford Indianapolis Boat Sport and Travel Show. Visit IndySportShow.com. Another Renfro production.
There are 48 million unpaid family caregivers in the United States. Visit aarp.org/caregiving to access a free guide to help navigate your caregiving journey.
This is Saturday Night on the Circle on 93 WIBC.
Welcome back to the show, ladies and gentlemen. 93 WIBC, Saturday Night on the Circle. I'm your bespectacled curmudgeon, Ethan Hatcher. Guest producer Kylan is in the producer's fishbowl, doing the work to make the show function. And we begin with a story concerning Indigo. There may be a DeCarlos Brown Jr. situation that is brewing on the bus line. For those of you who might not remember that name, say her name, Irina Zarutska. That was the 23-year-old Ukrainian refugee who was senselessly, needlessly, pointlessly stabbed to death while minding her own business, riding the Blue Line train outside of Charlotte, North Carolina. And DeCarlos Brown Jr. was her cold-blooded killer who was mentally unstable, multiple run-ins with law enforcement, unleashed on society, had no business running around free, and unfortunately, it resulted in the death of an innocent person. This was a story that broke on the Indie Reporter Facebook page, a recording that was sent in by an anonymous bus rider who had filmed the situation. But you won't hear this reported on any of the other main local news stations. It's not on RTV6. It's not on Wish TV. It's not on Fox 59 News. Nowhere to be found. But this woman clearly seemed to be having a mental episode at a bare minimum, possibly high on drugs, ranting and raving and threatening to kill people on the bus. And the bus driver just driving along. I'm sure this is a routine, unfortunately, for him on the Indianapolis bus scene. But listen to this, folks, because this is some scary stuff, and I don't know why anyone would ride the bus in Indianapolis or recommend their family or friends take it either.
Oh my God, please, no. You kill your ass, man. I'm gonna kill you, bitch. I swear to God, man, my friend. That was 20 seconds, man. I'm gonna kill your ass. No, I'm gonna kill you, man. Take it off. What? I'm like, it is. You're wet there, bitch. Hey, your mom, watch your mouth. 1 second. Now, I swear. You know I'm gonna kick your ass.
All right.
Bitch.
Freaking out, man.
I'm gonna kill your white ass. Your white bitch.
Honky white bitch. Yeah, that's a good one. See it every day.
Doors open. Doors closing. I'm gonna kill you, bitch, man. Let me out there, put it down, man. Now put it. What's that? I'm 40 seconds, man. Now. Oh my God, please.
It's 18.
Come on down, mama, you dead, bitch. I want my man right beside me. That's right, man. How you think I'm going with? White bitch. Go ahead, too, bitch. I'm saying I'm man.
Good. Yeah.
I'm in danger.
Now, not to put producer Kylan on the spot, but how would you feel if you were a passenger on that bus? Would you feel safe riding the Indigo bus line around town with people like this on the bus line?
Man, my blood rate is, I am peaking right now just trying to listen for cuss words.
Oh, no. Don't worry. I censored everything.
You are wonderful.
I'm on top of it. We got the duck quacks in. This is actually audio that was condensed from a much longer video, and you can see that on the Indie Reporter Facebook page and the Indie Reporter Twitter account. But the fact that the bus driver didn't immediately pull over and call the cops as soon as this person started making threats on the bus line should show you that this is a relatively routine occurrence. They're used to it. This is just what riding on public transit is like these days. We've seen similar attacks. The Daniel Penny had to intervene on the subway quite famously in New York. The other woman who was set on fire on the New York subway. Public transportation is dangerous because we have shut down the asylums, and these incredibly mentally unstable people are just allowed to roam freely in society and then threaten other people. And sometimes that results in an attack, in a fatality. Life is cheap these days. People are willing to draw blood at the drop of a hat, or in some cases, the drop of a French fry, as was the case in Texas, where the mother of Jarvis Davis is mourning the loss of her son after his 18-year-old friend, Lamarcus Darden Jr., was arrested and charged with murdering Davis because he didn't share his French fries.
Accused of shooting Jarvis Davis at a Fort Worth apartment after Davis would not share his French fries. Fox 4's Peyton Yeager spoke to the victim's mom today. Peyton.
Steve, and multiple people witnessed this shooting inside of an apartment, including children. So Fort Worth police tell me they were confident in who they were looking for.
I don't want to live on this planet anymore.
Life is incredibly cheap when you have people who are killing their friends over not sharing their French fries. And it's not about the French fries itself. It's about these perceived insults, these perceived disrespect. And so in order to build up their rep, they're going to take out somebody else's life. And now this 18-year-old is facing 20 to life behind bars because of a stupid argument. And I think the criminal element feels confident in behaving badly because, unfortunately, we have a judicial system that is willing to coddle them. We see prosecutor friend of the miscreant Mears, Ryan, friend of the miscreant Mears, who makes sweetheart plea deals with a lot of these violent individuals. The rotating, revolving door of the criminal justice system lets them back out on the streets. You have judges like Mark Stoner here in Indianapolis, and although retired, is still serving on the bench from time to time when the docket is overfilled. He, of course, very famously let off Daisha Lacey extremely lightly after she smothered her infant child to death while high on methamphetamine, facts that were never at any point in contention. And you have another judge coming out of, what is this, Ohio, I believe, a Soros DEI judge by the name of Tracy Davis, who cut a 24-year-old sentencing hearing in half, even though at the sentencing hearing, Kylan, he was threatening the judge. He said, if I could spit on you, I would. He also said at the same hearing, I don't have any sympathy for you, the victim, or the victim's family. I don't care. That's a direct quote. The crime that he's alleged to have committed, it's not even alleged, he was sentenced, that he did commit. He abducted a teenager at gunpoint, raped them, forced them to withdraw $250 from the ATM card, and raped her again before releasing her. This is a violent, dangerous maniac, wholly unrepentant, and instead of holding him to account for his actions, the judge decided that the jury of his peers, which recommended the 60-year sentence, slightly north of 60-year sentence, that he didn't deserve that. He can be reformed. He's a victim of society, according to Judge Tracy Davis.
Judge Davis thought the jury's recommendation was too long. She feels he hasn't mentally matured yet and never had a real shot at getting any help early in life.
But if you were to come in here and instead of being hurt and angry, which is what this court hears, right, as a 20-year-old African-American male that has been, experienced this society, etc., and you would show that, yes, okay, this is the situation, this is who I am. I don't want to be this person anymore. I don't want to be in jail for forever.
Thompson repeatedly stated he did not care, not about his sentence, the victim, or her family. But Judge Davis emphasized she's the one that holds the pen, and regardless of what the media may think, she applies the law. To her, 65 years was an extremely long time. As she puts it, it's his whole life, one she doesn't believe should be spent entirely behind bars.
This court does not believe that Mr. Thompson, if given the resources that he can get while incarcerated, is beyond being rehabilitated.
It's a joke. It's all a joke.
As long as the criminal element continues to be coddled, these types of vicious attacks will be on repeat again and again and again. And we see it. And it's because of the philosophy of the criminal justice system and the judges who inhabit it has completely shifted from accountability to deflection, from assigning responsibility versus deflecting blame and blaming society. They see the criminals as victims. It's an inversion of justice. Thanks for listening to 93 WIBC. Don't miss it. We got a lot more on the way. Coming up next, another exciting edition of The Sound Dump. Stay tuned.
It's an all-new date, but it's the same great bourbon. Saturday, February 28th, join me for Trump 1 year and 1 month later at the Hyatt Regency in downtown Indianapolis. The snow caused us to postpone, but it couldn't stop us. February 28th, downtown Indianapolis, the Hyatt Regency, Trump 1 year and 1 month later. The bourbon, the food, the live music, the red tie, and you. I'll have the full breakdown of how we win the midterms and more. Get your tickets. Go to WIBC.com. Trump 1 year and 1 month later at WIBC.com.
It's Terry Stacy, and thousands of people start the year with good intentions of losing weight and getting in shape by spring. For over 22 years, Exercising has helped Hoosiers build muscle and lose weight and transform their health, which means creating lifelong habits rather than a resolution most of us don't keep. Exercising works, and the best part about it, it only takes 20 minutes once a week. Their unique training method was developed in an osteoporosis research study to help prevent bone mineral loss in older women. The women in the study got very strong in a short amount of time. When the method is applied to normal, healthy adults, both men and women get a lot stronger. Their Simple 9 nutritional program has helped their clients lose over 40,000 pounds since 2013. They've also seen their clients lower blood pressure, improve blood sugar, and get off prescription meds. Get started right now. Avon, Brownsburg, Fishers, Greenwood, and Zionsville. Change your life in 20 minutes once a week. Go to exerciseinc.com to request a free consultation.
This Valentine's Day, celebrate the one you love the most with Hallmark cards at Walgreens. Valentine's Day is the best time to send your favorite person a reminder of just how much they mean to you. A Hallmark card is a super simple and beautiful way to say how grateful you are for the love you two share. Don't forget, Valentine's Day is Saturday, February 14th. Visit Walgreens today to find a Hallmark card that shows just how much you care for them, because love lives here.
It all comes down to this, folks.
Yep, the entire season is on the line. But my throat has officially thrown in the towel.
Sounds like you need Vicks VapoCool drops. They're max strength and vaporize sore throat pain.
Whoa! These VapoCool drops hit fast.
Speaking of fast, did you just see that play?
Yeah, he vaporized that ball.
That pun should have come with a penalty.
Vaporize sore throat pain with Vicks VapoCool drops. Use as directed.
Fox News, I'm Gianna Gelosi. President Trump speaking with Minnesota leaders to try to put an end to the unrest in the state, deploying his border czar Tom Homan to lead ICE operations.
He will be reporting directly to the president. Border Patrol Commander Gregory Bovino had been acting as the Border Patrol lead here, even hosting daily press conferences, really the face of the operation here. But Bovino is now returning to be Sector Chief in El Centro, California, and other Border Patrol agents are leaving as well.
Fox's Matt Finn, at least 34 people dead after that massive winter storm. It's still bringing bone-chilling temperatures nationwide. Fox Weather's Melanie Black in Boston, where almost 2 feet of snow fell.
And that snow is not going anywhere anytime soon. Our Fox Weather Forecast Center is calling for high temperatures in the 20s and overnight lows in the single digits this week.
America's listening to Fox News.
Hey, what's going on? It's Hammer from the Hammer and Nigel show. And I'm not going to lie to you. I needed help. I got a bald spot in the back of my head, and it's embarrassing. I see it when I'm on television. I see it when I'm on the YouTube channel. So I decided to reach out for help. And my friends at We Grow Hair Indie decided to help me out here. These guys are the absolute best. I was a little leery about it. I could not have a procedure that, one, hurt, or two, left me looking like I'd been scalped. But after I talked with Darren and the entire team at We Grow Hair Indie, they told me their state-of-the-art technology, the progress made in hair growth, it's going to be okay. If I can do this, you guys can do this. Contact the team at We Grow Hair Indie, 317-522-2995. That's 522-2995. Get that free evaluation. It's free. You can also go online to WeGrowHairIndie.com. Contact them today and do this with me. WeGrowHairIndie.com.
Hey, this is Spencer Thompson at Thompson Furniture and Mattress in Columbus. We all love Made in the USA, but how about our Hoosiers? For a limited time, save on everything made in Indiana during the Hoosier Hurricane Sale. Lowest price guaranteed on Indiana-made Smith Brothers of Bern, Hollywood Outdoor, and mattresses by Tempur-Pedic, Sealy, and Stearns & Foster. Hurry! The Made in Indiana sale ends Monday only at Thompson Furniture and Mattress in Columbus.
Kohl's gets it. Valentine's Day comes with expectations, grand expectations, telepathic expectations, and heart-shaped everything expectations. Yes, even waffles. Kohl's has gifts that rise to the occasion, from romantic to playful, sparkly to sweet, or all of the above. Plus, get 15% off some of your finds. So go ahead, exceed those Valentine's Day expectations with Kohl's. Select styles, offer ends February 16th. Some exclusions apply. See store or kohls.com for details.
You're listening to Saturday Night on the Circle on 93 WIBC.
You use a sturdy pole.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time once again to don your handy-dandy hazmat suits as we wade through the slime and the grime of another week in news, beginning with a stunning admission from the sitting Health and Human Services Secretary, RFK Jr., about his sordid past dealing with the throes of addiction. New York and Texas Democrats gleefully peddling in casual racism, and 150,000 federal government workers revealed to be delinquent tax cheats, plus Donald Trump feigns ignorance regarding Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick's recreational time spent on prolific pederast Jeffrey Epstein's sex pest island, but reassures the public that he never went there. You'll hear it all for this week's edition of The Sound Dump.
I'll take you for a ride. I'm a garbage truck.
It's the Saturday Night Sound Dump on 93 WIBC.
I take you to the dump. I show you the sights, you know you wanna ride. I'm a garbage truck.
Welcome back to 93 WIBC, Saturday Night on the Circle. I'm your bespectacled curmudgeon, Ethan Hatcher. That's producer Kylan, beep, 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 pushing the buttons and doing the things to make the show function. We begin with a small snippet that I think caught everyone off guard from Theo Vaughn's podcast, The Weekend, when RFK Jr. was very transparent about his past drug use. I see Kylan laughing in the producer's fishbowl. I'm guessing that means you've heard this.
It makes me question my yogurt sometimes.
And I said, I'm not scared of a germ. You know, I used to snort cocaine off of toilet seats. And I know this disease will kill me. Right. Like if I don't.
What an odd thing to say.
You couldn't find literally anywhere else to snort your coke? Yeah, I mean, at the bare minimum, like do it on the top of where the toilet paper rolls are. Do it literally anywhere else.
On the sink counter?
On the sink
Literally
counter,
anywhere.
there's a sink right there.
Gross. This was the same conversation that he had when he was asked for suggestions for side Super Bowl snacks, and one of it was meat or yogurt, and so that was also something interesting. Go watch it for yourself. Wild.
Yeah. Great clip, hilarious clip. I mean, look, I'm glad that he's being honest about his past, and I'm glad that he's no longer in the throes of addiction, because that sounds like a pretty terrible life when you are not questioning your decision to snort coke lines off of a toilet seat. There are so many better places to snort coke if that's what you choose to do. Of course, Canada this week had their most deadly school shooting in decades. A terrible transgendered maniac who killed his mother, his stepbrother, 7 others in the school, and injured 25 more. The Canadian police, however, seem to be more concerned with the attacker's feelings than the feelings of the community, because they're actually correcting reporters about pronoun usage.
Expand a little bit on the suspect. Was he known to police? Were there any red flags regarding his mental health?
So a suspect is identified as an 18-year-old female by the name of Jessie. We have a history of police attendance at the family residence. Some of those calls were related to mental health issues.
Well. Okay, so first of all, I don't think anybody is surprised that somebody who is experiencing gender dysphoria also has other mental health issues, or that law enforcement potentially had to be called to their home. Furthermore, it is indicative that this so-called gender-affirming care does not assuage the turmoil within their mind. It doesn't quell that storm. If anything, it only exacerbates it, because you can't, much like criminality, you cannot coddle mental illness either. And in this case, the mother had been supportive of her son's decision to undergo transgender surgery. In fact, he'd been doing it since 12 years old. You don't have the ability to make that kind of complex decision at such a young age. Sorry. And unfortunately, it's resulted in tragedy. But this is a tragedy that has largely been foisted by leftists. Not only do they peddle in genital mutilation on minors, but they also peddle in casual racism and feel gleefully empowered to do so, as was the case for this clip. Former New York representative, this is a couple years old now, but it's just making the rounds on social media, Charles Barron, who was proud to report at the time that his white people had left his district.
I have the distinct honor to be able to come before you and say I actually lost white population in my community. Ooh. I lost them. They left. They left. I didn't ask them why. They left. So if you see 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 whites in my neighborhood, they're passing through. But that's on a serious note. We got 13,000 black elected officials in this country. We've had mayors, we've had governors, we have city council members. We need to get radical.
That's racist! Oh, well, can you imagine an elected representative speaking this way about literally any other race within their district? Oh, yeah, the Latinos, they left. I'm proud to report it. If you see any Latinos walking through town, don't worry, they're just passing through. They would be publicly lambasted. They would be public enemy number 1. There would be wall-to-wall coverage of this, but since it's against white people, that's accepted. They look the other way. You also have race peddlers like Gene Wu, who is elected state representative of Texas, hoping that he can unite the minorities in opposition to white people, stoking the fires of racial tensions.
I always tell people the day the Latino, African American, Asian, and other communities realize that they share the same oppressor is the day we start winning. Because we are the majority in this country now. We have the ability to take over this country and to do what is needed for everyone and to make things fair. But the problem is our communities are divided. They're completely divided.
What is wrong with you? Why are you blue?
The communities are divided, and it's leftist race peddlers like Gene Wu who are dividing them, unfortunately. And you have a lot of members in government who are participating in this kind of divisive language. You also have a lot of members in government who are flagrantly flouting the laws that they are enforcing on us. This was a report from last year. Unfortunately, nothing has been done between then and now to address the more than 150,000 federal workers who are known tax cheats, including 6,000 people working for the IRS who are behind on their taxes while they are demanding you pay taxes.
While most Americans had to write a big fat check to the government today to pay their taxes, over 100,000 federal workers are not paying their taxes. In 2021, the IRS found that almost 150,000 federal workers owe about $1.5 billion in unpaid taxes. Over 5,000 of them work at the IRS and owe $50 million in overdue taxes. Even though the IRS can fire its workers that are not paying their taxes, only 20 people have been terminated. That double standard is something Senator Joni Ernst, Senate Doge Caucus chair, wants to stop. She's introducing several bills aimed at cleaning up the IRS. One bill would require IRS employees to be audited every year and fired if they don't pay their taxes.
Go ahead. Make my day.
Can you imagine people who are working for the federal government enforcing tax law that are not paying their taxes? This is inequity summed up in great clarity. Finally, I wanted to play this clip from Donald Trump, who was questioned about his commerce secretary, who was revealed in the Epstein file dump to have spent time on Jeffrey Epstein's sex pest island after his conviction as a registered sex offender and pedophile in 2009. Donald Trump said he didn't know anything about it, apparently.
Mr. President, were you aware that Secretary of Commerce visited Epstein's island? Do you continue to have...
No, I wasn't aware of it. No, I didn't. I actually haven't spoken to him about it. I wasn't. But from what I hear, he was there with his wife and children. And I guess in some cases, some people were. I wasn't. I was never there. Somebody will someday say that. I was never there.
Yes, I was on the sex island, but only for the snorkeling. I didn't know anything about the kid stuff. No, look, 95% of what went on down there was not pedophilia.
Oh, yeah?
No, the other 5%, that sullied the whole operation.
Yeah, sure. Charitably giving Donald Trump the benefit of the doubt that he didn't know that Howard Lutnick had spent time on Sex Pest Island. You do know now. Are you going to choose to keep him as one of your members of the cabinet? If you do, that is a reflection on this presidency. Stay tuned to 93 WIBC. More on the way.
We are the National Park Foundation, and together with you, we're creating a future where every person, every generation gets their chance at an unforgettable moment. Learn more at nationalparks.org/foundation.
February is the month of love, so maybe it's time to show your carpet a little attention.
What is the
Your carpet is the biggest air filter in your home, and if it hasn't been professionally cleaned, you're breathing dirt, dust, and winter buildup every single day. That's why I call Zero Res. No soaps, no residue, just a deeper clean that keeps your home fresher longer. Right now, get 3 rooms of carpet cleaning starting at $119 plus $75 off air duct cleaning. Book online at zeroresindy.com. Ask for the WIBC special.
Career changers, including veterans and active duty service members. Your transition starts here. Go from GI to IT in a matter of months. Become a certified cyber warrior with training at My Computer Career. Cybersecurity specialists are in high demand, offering IT pros great opportunities and a rewarding lifestyle while protecting our people, liberty, and treasured institutions from cyber threats. Deploy your career in IT today at mycomputercareer.edu/CWP, an elite CompTIA certification partner.
VA education benefits are available to those who qualify. With the new IHOP value menu, $6 is all it takes to go to your happy plates, where stacks of pancakes with bacon and eggs are just $6 every day. French toast, sausage, and eggs are, you guessed it, $6. And fluffy omelets come with a side of pancakes and only cost $6. Go to your happy plates every day at IHOP. $7 in some locations. Available every day for a limited time at participating restaurants in the U.S. Hours may vary. No substitutions. Not valid with other discounts or promotions. Prices may vary.
Gain insight on how to prepare for a secure retirement.
In our younger years, we want as much growth and accumulation as we can muster.
Take advantage of a free discovery call, 877-524-2677, 877-524-2677.
It's important for you to understand what that's going to look like later on.
And tune in to the Absolute Retirement Planning Show with Will Gonzalez, Sundays at 9 a.m. right here on 93 WIBC.
IMI is hiring CDL Class B drivers for their ready-mix trucks. Receive a great starting wage, outstanding benefits, and a generous retirement plan. Learn more at driveimi.com.
Being blind doesn't look how others may think. Retinitis pigmentosa aimed to overwhelm my family.
It tried to cut me down. I know where to find support.
Donate today at fightingblindness.org. A public service message from the Foundation Fighting Blindness.
Step into the spotlight with Dancing with the Stars. Catch the live show at Old National Center Wednesday, February 25th. Reserve your seats and tickets today at WIBC.com.
This is Saturday Night on The Circle on 93 WIBC.
Welcome back, Indianapolis. This is Saturday Night on The Circle, and we are nearing the 32-year anniversary of Kurt Cobain's supposed suicide on April 8th, 1994. But now a team of private forensic investigators have called into question the ruling of the medical examiner at the time, submitting a peer-reviewed paper that has been released and calls into question the findings by putting forth 10 points of evidence that would seem to cast doubt on whether the suicide was truly legitimate. This is a report that's headed up by Brian Burnett, who's a specialist that previously worked on cases involving overdoses that were followed by gunshot trauma. Also, independent researcher Michelle Wilkins, who worked with the team. She said that after just 3 days of looking at the evidence with fresh eyes, Brian Burnett had said, "This is a homicide, and we've got to do something about this." They pointed to several pieces of evidence, including the fact that his left hand, which was closest to the firearm at the time of impact, was somehow free of blood splatter, which you would not expect to see in a shotgun suicide. They also put forth the fact that he had enough heroin in his system to tranquilize a horse and would likely be comatose and unable to handle a firearm. They also called into question placement of blood at the bottom of his t-shirt, which is consistent with the body being moved after the fact. All this, and also we have clips like El Duce, the drummer and lead singer for the punk rock band The Mentors, who had said all the way back in 1994, I think it was 94, or shortly after the alleged suicide, pointing the finger at a possible suspect. He believed that it was Courtney Love because he alleged Courtney Love had tried to pay him $50,000 to kill Cobain.
But you did some deal with Courtney, right?
Yeah, she offered me 50 grand to whack Kurt Cobain.
She what?
50 grand to whack Kurt Cobain.
And that's a fact, is it? But people might think you're not the most reliable witness.
Well, that's too bad. You may not be the reliable witness your own self. Now think about that one.
Yeah.
You know, when she offered me money, God dang, I wish I would have taken it, man. But I know who whacked him.
But how were you going to whack him? Did she tell you how to do it?
Yeah, blow his head off.
So where were you going to find him to do it?
Well, up there, and she gave, mapped it out. I mean, up there in Bellevue, wherever they live, right outside Seattle. I know right where the house is. I know right what garden to pop him in. I just didn't think she was serious.
But did she tell you how she wanted you to pop him?
Yeah, she says blow his head off. I got the shotgun.
Curiouser and curiouser.
Stuff like that makes you think. Stay tuned to 93 WIBC. Hour 2 is on the way.
Wesley is a truck driver.
I drive a truck, and I love what I do.
A truck driver with IRS troubles.
They told me I owed them $43,000.
It got really bad.
Quite a few letters in the mail. They were talking about wage garnishment, coming after my house, my car. Yeah, they don't play around. I seriously thought that I was going to lose everything.
One sleepless night, Wesley finally made a call to Optima Tax Relief at 2 a.m.
Kind of figured I'd get a machine, but I didn't. I actually got to talk to an actual person in the middle of the night.
He found just what he was looking for.
Oh, they were great people. You need a team of people that know what they're doing. Optima Tax, they know what they're doing.
Optima Tax Relief came through with flying colors.
I saved an incredible amount of money. Happy don't even come close. I was absolutely overjoyed.
Take Wesley's advice.
If you're in any kind of trouble with the IRS, call Optima Tax Relief. Don't trust anybody else.
Call Optima for a free consultation. Call 800-598-4799. 800-598-4799. 800-598-4799.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
We had downsized. In that downsizing, my husband lost his man cave.
Everyone is talking about Galaxy Concrete Coatings and their transformation, like your neighbor Deb.
My husband and I were at the home show and saw all these vendors with garage floor coatings. The one that stayed with us was Galaxy.
Galaxy Concrete Coatings is 4 times stronger than epoxy.
I'm the only one home, and so it's nice when well-dressed, clean-cut, respectful crew show up. That's what Galaxy sent.
Commercial or residential, Galaxy transforms pools, patios, garage floors, and driveways in as little as 1 day, and it comes with a lifetime warranty.
Warranties are real important for us, and to know that should there be an issue, Galaxy was standing behind us. That's pretty much what tipped us over to go with Galaxy.
Click on GalaxyConcreteCoatings.com and remember to like us on Facebook.
We are so proud to open our garage store.
We're out of this world.
Hi, I'm Michael from the War and Treaty. You know the jingle. Now discover the facts about Ozempic, a GLP-1. Only Novo Nordisk makes FDA-approved Ozempic. Learn about the real thing.
Talk to your healthcare professional today. Call 1-833-OZEMPIC or visit Ozempic.com to view the medication guide and to learn more about Ozempic. Semaglutide injection 0.5 milligram, 1 milligram, and 2 milligrams.
It all comes down to this, folks.
Yep, the entire season is on the line. But my throat has officially thrown in the towel.
Sounds like you need Vicks VapoCool drops. They're max strength and vaporize sore throat pain.
Whoa! These VapoCool drops hit fast.
Speaking of fast, did you just see that play?
Yeah, he vaporized that ball.
That pun should have come with a penalty.
Vaporize sore throat pain with Vicks VapoCool drops. Use as directed.
From the Dugan Air Heating and Cooling Mitsubishi Electric Studios, this is 93 WIBC HD1 HD2, Indianapolis.
Of NBC Today Show co-host Savannah Guthrie is still missing. Max Gordon of Fox Business with the latest on the search for Nancy Guthrie.
Heavy law enforcement activity last night and a lot of hope that there was some sort of break in this case. But at this hour, no one is in custody, according to the Pima County Sheriff's Department. About a 5 minutes drive away from Nancy Guthrie's home in the Catalina foothills, at least 2 SWAT vehicles were there, along with dozens of law enforcement officers. 3 people were detained at a home in the neighborhood, with authorities confirming that it was in relation to the investigation into the disappearance of Nancy Guthrie. Then, in the parking lot of a nearby Culver's fast food restaurant, law enforcement detained another person and searched a silver or gray-colored Range Rover. At this scene, there were law enforcement from multiple agencies, including the Pima County Sheriff's Department and the FBI. Law enforcement loaded the SUV up onto a flatbed and ended up taking it away. This as the search for the suspect continues.
The FBI has released a description based on the characteristics of a man seen in Guthrie's doorbell camera footage. From the night of her disappearance, it says he's 5'9" to 5'10" and of average build. The U.S. is committed to ending the war between Russia and Ukraine. That's what Secretary of State Marco Rubio told U.S. allies as he addressed the Munich Security Summit.
What we can't answer, but we're going to continue to test, is whether there is an outcome that Ukraine can live with and that Russia will accept.
But it may not be easy. Russia is demanding Ukraine give up 4 eastern regions. Ukraine says that it would take a constitutional amendment to give up that land. Skier Lindsey Vonn will be returning to the U.S. soon after what could be a career-ending crash at the Winter Olympics. She's had 4 operations since she was airlifted off the slopes February 8th. Vonn was competing despite injuring her left ACL last month. I'm Daria Albinger. This is Fox News.
Stay on top of the latest forecast with America's Weather Team in the palm of your hands.
Here's the latest from America's Weather Center.
It's Fox weather updates throughout your busy day, every day.
That heat's going to be out there for one more day.
Temperatures being 30 degrees above average.
Put the power of over 100 meteorologists and the worldwide resources of Fox in your hands with the Fox Weather Podcast. Precise, personal, powerful. Subscribe and listen now at foxnewspodcasts.com. Connect to Fox News Audio on the Fox News app. Listen to hear your favorite hosts like Brian Kilmeade, Jimmy Fallon, and Guy Benson standing up for what's right, live and via podcast. Just click listen, then swipe right and hear the latest news updates on your time. And scroll down to hear the latest podcasts from Fox News. And it's even easier to listen in the car with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Get programming alerts and notifications. Fox News Audio is on the Fox News app. The voices America trusts. Download
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
It's raising some concerns. I'm Jarrett Lewis. Here's what's trending this hour. U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement set to establish an office in Carmel, making some in the city start to worry. Community organizer Stuart Mora spoke to WISH TV about it.
People are terrified right now. Even people who have legal status are terrified because of the racial profiling that they're seeing all across the country.
The Carmel City Council president indicated that the city has limited power to intervene in ISIS plans. IMPD says 6 arrests were made in Indy on Friday. Officers cuffed 4 people for narcotics-related offenses and 2 others for outstanding warrants at the Luger Plaza downtown. There were multiple arrests made earlier in the week in the same area. Comedian and actor Mike Epps is opening up a new boxing gym on Indy's near Northeast Side. Jake McDaniel has that story.
The new boxing gym is called The Right Jab, and it used to be a car paint shop. It has a mural on the wall and a full-size ring for training, among other things. But he says it's about more than just throwing punches.
A lot of kids are picking up guns because they simply can't defend themselves with their hands. I mean, I'm not encouraging kids to fight, but that's where that comes from. A person that's not comfortable with defending themselves.
He's hoping by learning self-defense, people will feel more comfortable walking away with conflict. Jake McDaniel, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
And the IU men's basketball team with one of their toughest tests of the season on Sunday when they play 8th-ranked Illinois. Hoosier head coach Darren DeVries talked about that on Friday.
There's a lot that concerns you when you watch Illinois. I mean, they're a really, really good basketball team.
Tip-off Sunday is at 1 p.m. Purdue plays later in the day at 5 against Iowa. I'm Jarrett Lewis on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com. Now here's the forecast from the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
For Sunday, that rain will exit. Partly cloudy skies in the afternoon. High temperatures getting in the low to mid 50s. On WISH TV, Storm Track 8 meteorologist Ryan Morse for 93 WIBC.
Jewelry Graham. Hi, I'm Brian, your friend and jeweler at Shane Company. Here to remind you that Valentine's Day is Saturday, February the 14th. It's the most romantic day of the year to give and get fine jewelry. We have expertly crafted gifts for every type of sweetheart, any style, any budget. Get creative and design a custom necklace with meaningful charms, including 14-karat gold letters, engravable hearts, and birthstones. For the one, we'll help you propose with a dream engagement ring. Come see our wide selection of hand-picked natural and lab-grown diamonds in all shapes and sizes, in stock and ready to compare side by side. At Shane Company, love is always in the air with our all-inclusive free lifetime warranty, everyday competitive prices, and no-pressure shopping experience. Come see us in store or at shaneco.com because a friend wants you to win Valentine's Day. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
Plumbing problems stink. The LD Smith Crew can handle anything. Call today for $50 off any plumbing repair, big or small.
LD Smith Plumbing.
A dirty, stinking honest.
This is Saturday Night on The Circle on 93 WIBC.
'93 WIBC, Hour 2 of Saturday Night on The Circle with your bespectacled curmudgeon, Ethan Hatcher, and guest producer, Kylan, in the producer's fishbowl, doing a fantastic job. Kylan always does a good job when she's producing. We love her.
I appreciate it. Thank you. I'm excited for you to join my show. I can't help. I'm so excited for this one. He's going to be joining First Day with Terry Stacey tomorrow at 11:45. You'll have to tune in for... President's Day special. We're bringing in 2 items this week, World War I artifact and a World War II artifact. So you'll have to tune into the show tomorrow morning to check those out. And if you want to, if you missed anything in this week's show, by the way, you can catch the podcasts uploaded to WIBC.com. That's the primary source, as well as my personal podcasting page, Saturday Night on the Circle.fireside.fm. Saturday Night on the Circle.fireside.fm. archive of all the rest of the shows, by the way, too, if you want to go back and take a listen to previous weeks as well. This segment, we're starting with the Save America Act that narrowly passed the House this week by a 218 to 213 vote, and only one Democrat representative crossed the aisle to support the measure, which would require citizens to prove their citizenship before registering to vote and help ensure the authenticity of elections. And that representative was Henry Cuellar of Texas. That was down from the 4 who had backed the earlier effort. Like I said, it would require voters to provide proof of citizenship. You can provide a passport. You can provide a real ID. It would also mandate states to come up with alternative sources of identity verification. But this is a simple safeguard to protect our elections, ensure their authenticity, and help enshrine the sacred right to vote. This is a broadly supported issue, which is why it's such a shame that it was such a narrow victory in the House. But according to polling, this is something that's supported across racial demographics. This is something that's supported across political demographics. The majority of Democrats support it. Majority of Republicans support it. Majority of black people support it. Majority of Latino people support it. Majority of white people support it. So this isn't just one sector of the American population that believes you should have some very simple requirements to assert your right to vote. And yet the Democrats have wholeheartedly opposed it in spite of the polling.
Take a look here. Favorite photo ID to vote. 85% of white people favor it. 82% of Latino. 76% of black Americans favor it. So the bottom line is this. Voter ID is not controversial in this country. A photo ID to vote is not controversial in this country.
Damn right.
It now heads to the Senate, where it will likely not pass due to the 60 vote threshold. You already have some spoiler Republicans who have come out against it, including Senator Lisa Murkowski of Alaska, senator there, who poured cold water on the House Republican victory, because even before the vote on Wednesday, she had announced she would oppose it, lambasting the bill as federal overreach. It's not federal overreach to ensure that people who are participating in elections should be participating in elections. You also have a spoiler turtle, Mitch McConnell, who has come out against the bill and said that he would oppose, mostly due to his personality conflict with President Trump. He is putting his emotions over what is best for the American people. This is especially shameful considering that Mitch McConnell had acknowledged there have been problems with elections going all the way back to, 1987. This isn't new. This isn't something that's come up recently. This is something that we've had to deal with for a long time. There is people who have bought votes, sold votes, people who have pressured voters at polling locations, people who have used mail-in ballots to illegally vote, especially when there are a few safeguards to verify their authenticity. And Mitch McConnell had spoken about this issue at length and with great clarity.
And I suspect on this election day, as on many election days over the last 100 years or so, in some areas of my state, people are attempting to buy votes, sell votes, intimidate voters, and in general distort the election process. Earlier in my life, I taught on a part-time basis a course called American Political Parties and Elections. And we talked about, with the students, the election fraud problems in some areas of this country. It is clearly not a problem everywhere, but in certain areas of our country, particularly rural one-party areas in the South, and in certain big cities in the Midwest and in the North, places where one party tends to dominate, this is an ongoing problem. It's a problem that has persisted in my state. I can recall in 1981, Mr. President, when I was running for re-election for a local office, polls showed me in a certain area of my community with 40% support, and on election day it ended up being 17%. And I wondered what happened between the Friday before the election and the Tuesday of the election that made that much support just evaporate like that. And then in 1984, Mr. President, when I ran for the United States Senate, I recall being up literally all night constructing directing telegrams, trying to get the cooperation of federal prosecutors to encourage people not to steal the election. The Courier-Journal, a statewide newspaper in my state, recently did an excellent one-week series on this problem in our state. It had people talking on the record about the participation in the selling of votes, the buying of votes, the distortion of the election process. A lot of the election fraud that occurs in my state, and I suspect in many others, involves the use of absentee ballots. It's not enough to have a post-election remedy. We have an occasional prosecution and an occasional conviction in my state for these kinds of election day shenanigans. But what the candidates and the public would like to see is an honest election between 6 a.m. and 6 p.m.
Am I not turtly enough for the Turtle Club, Turtle? Turtle?
So this isn't new. This has been going on for decades at this point. And of course, it makes good common sense that when you have mail-in ballots and you have very few safeguards to verify their authenticity, that is a system which is ripe for fraud and abuse. And we have seen it unfortunately play out multiple times at this point. And it's not a conspiracy theory to suggest that Democrats wholeheartedly wish for non-citizens to interfere with the election. In fact, New York State Democrats had proposed a bill which would allow non-citizens to participate in state elections. Now, fortunately, the Supreme Court in that state threw it out, as they should, because it violated the Constitution. But the fact that they tried is telling.
New York City Democrats actually put up a bill to allow non-citizens to vote in their elections. Our far left-leaning, and I think you can argue that very easily, Court of Appeals, New York highest court, actually turned that down and said, no, only citizens can vote in our elections. That's New York state law, and that's our national law. And I just want to make sure that that was your response to Mr. Burchett, to make sure you understood that we've addressed this in New York, and we have established that only citizens can vote. And we want to make sure we secure the ballot and know that citizenship in this country has value.
Wow, that is delicious. Finally.
In fact, verifying the authenticity of voters' right to participate in elections safeguards and protects minority votes, because when you are a minority population, then your vote is much more easily diluted when you have outside interference from non-citizens who are participating and influencing the outcome of elections. That means that your vote counts less. And so it is imperative to safeguard minority votes by verifying that citizens who are voting have the right to vote. And simple safeguards to do this are simple common sense. But unfortunately, you have Democrats who are saying that it's racist and sexist to provide these safeguards.
Look, as I hear my colleagues on the other side of the aisle, what I hear is the same racist, misogynistic trash, different decade. Republicans are invoking historical policies intended, let's be clear, to disenfranchise Americans, especially working people, women, students, indigenous people, and anyone who can't afford the burdens of a new bill. The Save America Act is yet another Republican attempt to intimidate and suppress the votes of anyone who threatens their extremist white supremacist agenda.
Do you have any evidence at all?
Well, Your Honor, we've got plenty of hearsay and conjecture. Those are kinds of evidence.
Again, by safeguarding elections, you actually protect the minority right to vote, and you make sure that their vote actually matters by ensuring that it is not diluted from outside interference. And Democrats aren't able to honestly defend this idea. In fact, you had Scott Jennings, the lone Republican commentator of CNN, who was asking a simple question on the show to Alicia Johnson, asking how it is an assault on the minority right to vote, and it sent the entire room into a tizzy because they couldn't answer this very simple question. How is it interfering with minority right to vote? Answer is it doesn't.
What voting rights is he taking away from black voters?
Oh, if we look at
the SAVE Act?
The SAVE Act, that's exactly what we're talking about. That is actually going to continue to disenfranchise overwhelmingly a lot of people of color. There are so many civil rights organizations that have run the data. If we look at the way that it is going to disenfranchise black voters, it's the same reason why Chuck Schumer called it Jim Crow 2.0.
So
this is the same president. If we want to continue...
You haven't said how yet.
I am talking about it. It's the way that you're putting new poll taxes on this when you're making people have That's what we can call them now. It's kind of an idiom, right? If you want to say that people have to prove that they are citizens, that they have to prove with a voter ID, the reality is you're layering what is a constitutional right for the American people and making it harder for people to vote in this country, and it's going to disenfranchise Black voters.
Concern you that you're making all these claims, you've yet to lay out how it's hurting anyone, but 76% of Black voters think we should show an ID to vote, 80% of Hispanic voters, 83% of the American people. Are you saying that Black voters are too dumb to know what's good for them? I mean, it sounds pretty condescending to me.
And to clarify, you will speak when spoken to.
No, I think I speak when I want. It's a free country, Jack.
Oh, they wanted to shut Scott Jennings up in that moment. Oh, so very badly. But he just plowed forward ahead anyway, and that's why we love him for it. Yeah, they couldn't answer the question of how it restricts the minorities' rights to vote, and they tried to conflate the issue by saying that's a poll tax, that these people can't provide a state ID when state IDs are free. That's ridiculous. They know it. It's dishonesty, and that's all they've got, unfortunately, to try to defend the idea, because the dirty secret is that Democrats stand to benefit the most by incorporating outside influence in our election system. Thanks for listening to 93 WIBC. Stay tuned for more coming up next.
There's danger out there. It lurks on highways and quiet neighborhood streets. It's more likely to kill you than a shark, and more terrifying than the biggest snake. Distracted driving claims lives every day. Every notification, swipe, social post, video, or selfie while driving risks your life. So while you might think public speaking or the zombie apocalypse is scary, what's really terrifying and even deadly is distracted driving. Eyes forward, don't drive distracted. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Hey Mom, it's me. Oh my gosh, you'll never believe what I just opened for Valentine's Day. A sapphire ring from Helzberg, just like the one I lost years ago. Remember how excited I was when you gave it to me? I cannot believe you remembered that story. I guess you were right. I really found the one.
This Valentine's Day, create a moment that means something with up to 40% off gifts at Helzberg. Shop in store or at helzberg.com.
Hear that? That's the sound of your life. Perfectly imperfect. Beating in rhythm to the world you've created. But every time you drive after drinking, the music gets drowned out. Your life sounds pretty great. Don't let a buzz ruin it. Buzz driving is drunk driving. Don't drive buzzed. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
2026 has arrived, America's 250th anniversary, and physical gold remains the ultimate store of value in an unsteady world. Gold has outperformed the S&P 500 over the past 20 years. Central banks are stockpiling it. Why? Because possession is the priority. This week only, Global Coin is offering a museum-quality 1-ounce 2026 MS-70 Gold Eagle at the best price in the country. Today's spot price of gold. No dealer markup. Perfect grade. Government issue. The first 50 buyers receive our hardcover, critically acclaimed book, Modern Numismatic Masterpieces, absolutely free. This opportunity is brief. Supply is finite. Once this allocation is gone, it's gone. Call right now, 855-COIN-GOLD. That's 855-COIN-GOLD. No premium, just absolute scarcity, absolute quality, and absolute ownership. Anchor your wealth with the asset that lasts. Call 855-COIN-GOLD.
Indy Humane, committed to helping Central Indiana's pets in need since 1905. Find your new best friend today. IndyHumane.org.
You're listening to Saturday Night on the Circle on 93 WIBC.
Welcome back to 93 WIBC, Saturday Night on the Circle. I'm your host, Ethan Hatcher. That's producer Kylan in the producer's fishbowl. And this segment, we're discussing the partial government shutdown. What are we at? Round 3, round 4? I've lost count at this point because the Democrats keep shutting down the government to protect illegal immigrants in the state. Now they are endangering the safety of American citizens by holding funding for the Department of Homeland Security hostage just because they're protesting ICE.
But, you know, Department of Homeland Security does a lot more than just run ICE, which still is funded for the time being, at least while the legislators work this issue out. But John Fetterman, the senator from Pennsylvania, pointed out that by holding this funding hostage, they're actually endangering American citizens because of the other funding areas which are now being held up as well, including cybersecurity, which is kind of important in the age of computers.
So you're going to punish all of these other parts, the very important parts of our government, TSA, Coast Guard, FEMA, and cybersecurity. That's what kind of a statement if we announce to our enemies, like, well, our cybersecurity agency, now we're going to be shut down. If I really want to make a move, that probably makes it better. And then, so is that a accurate statement?
It's a fair assessment, sir. Yes, sir.
So now here I am. Here I am, a Democrat, and I think I ran the whole gamut. You know, I met with Secretary Noem, and I've always treated her with respect. I met with her in my office, and I refused, and I never will engage on the kinds of sexist kinds of terms like ICE Barbie.
Why would you say something so controversial yet so brave?
Now, I know I was not alone when John Fetterman was running in the campaign for Pennsylvania, that suspected he was going to be terrible for the state. Of course, his fitness for office was also called into question because of his health issues at the time. But I'm pleasantly pleased with what John Fetterman has been doing since coming into office, because he embodies the kind of bipartisanship that benefits the country. It doesn't matter what the party supports. What matters is what is good for the nation. And more senators from both sides of the aisle, Republicans as well, need to make that the priority and not just base partisanship. But when you are holding up funding for ICE, yeah, on the one hand, they're stopping the deportations, which Democrats are opposed to, but you're also damaging the safety of children, because one of the things that ICE operations in Minnesota have accomplished is finding more than 3,000 unaccompanied minors who have been left behind, and these minors are ripe for exploitation when they are the most vulnerable members of society. And because of their illegal status, they are often used in terrible sex trafficking crimes. They fall through the system because they're not registered with any legal entity. There's no way to track them. And so these people are often victimized. But fortunately, ICE, under the direction of Tom Homan, has found and rescued more than 3,000 children in Minnesota, and the Democrats are standing in the way of this.
In addition to taking public safety threats off the street, ICE here in this state have located 3,364 missing unaccompanied alien children. Children that the last administration lost and weren't even looking for. That's because the leadership of President Trump, these children were located.
Correct! I mean, imagine that you are so wed to partisanship and to bitter leftist ideology that you are willing to endanger the safety of children in your opposition of ICE. That is absolutely unforgivable. And you see Democrats want time and again prioritize illegal immigrants over American citizens. That's their true priority. They want to make excuses like the Attorney General of Minnesota, Keith Ellison, who was grilled by Bernie Moreno this week for his lack of urgency when it comes to enforcing border security. They want to say that this is a civil issue, not a criminal issue. And Bernie Moreno backed Keith Ellison into a corner. He's like, well, would you enforce the border of your home if somebody broke in? And of course, that's completely different in the mind of Keith Ellison.
To the country illegally, or you overstay a visa, should you be deported?
My simple answer is, sir, it depends.
Okay, so if somebody breaks into your home, should they be arrested for breaking and entering, or does it depend?
It's an entirely different scenario.
How's that?
Because immigration is essentially a civil, and breaking into my home is a criminal matter.
Oh, okay, gotcha. So if there's laws that should be enforced, so we shouldn't enforce civil violations?
We absolutely should enforce them.
But you just said that it's a civil matter, so it's different. So if somebody
you enforce civil matters.
So if somebody commits a civil infraction, it shouldn't be enforced?
It should be.
Okay, so they should be deported.
No, they should have due process that is associated with their petition. So, for example...
So the act of entering the country illegally, you think we should say, well, did you really do it or not do it? It's pretty obvious that they did, right?
Democrats want to play games with due process. They want to use due process as a cudgel against civil society because on the one hand, these individuals are skipping due process because they don't want to come through the front door and they don't want to submit to the system by which anyone can immigrate into this country. That we're not preventing people from coming to this country. We just want oversight. We want you to do it the right way. We want to be able to verify. We want to be able to do some simple background checks and make sure that you are not a danger to anyone else who is living in the country. It's relatively simple. And when you have somebody who is skipping that very important step, you got to call into question why they're doing so, whether or not they might have a criminal history from their country of origin, whether they are fleeing the law, whether they are fleeing some terrible crime that they may have committed, or are coming to this country to commit crimes against the people of this nation. That's simple common sense, but you have Democrats that want to go to bat time and again for illegal aliens, but they don't want to be responsible for the illegal aliens. You have the governor of Massachusetts, which has asked people of the state to potentially house illegal migrants, but then you also have hypocritically these leftists who are unwilling to do so, like Harry Season, who is a noted Democrat influencer. He was on the Michael Knowles show and was asked by one of the viewers a question whether he would house an illegal migrant in his house. No, he expects you to house the illegal migrant. He doesn't want any part of it.
Maura Healey is our governor, and she has asked citizens of Massachusetts to take illegal immigrants into their homes and house them because they don't have enough housing for all of them. So I just want to know, answer my question first. Are you willing to do what Maura Healey asked the citizens of Massachusetts to do and house illegal immigrants in your own home? Because she asked us to do that. I wasn't willing to do that.
So you're making the point I was about to make, which is it's voluntary. She's asking citizens to step up if they want. Nobody's forcing you. And by the way, we already have programs. Be quiet. You right there. Be quiet.
The question is, will you?
I know. I'm getting to it. I'm getting. Just be quiet. I'm getting to it. If you listen, unfortunately, I will not be taking anybody in because I have a one-bedroom in New York City. It's very expensive.
Hold on. You have a one-bedroom?
Yeah.
You don't have a studio?
No, I do not.
A lot of New Yorkers have studios.
Well, it depends on where you live.
A lot of people have studios in New York, so you have an extra room.
No, I'm sorry. Unfortunately, I don't. Unfortunately, I don't have any space. Unfortunately, for now, I don't have any space.
Wow. To hear I live in a one-bedroom in New York and I don't have any space. That's a mansion.
Well,
in New York.
You're from New York. You know New York. There's no space in New York. My one bedroom's a shoebox. You know that.
Hypocrisy is the Vaseline of political intercourse.
The hypocrisy from these people is so thick that you could cut it from a knife. But that's the thing. They want to absolve themselves of any level of responsibility. They want to offload that responsibility onto you. That's possibly the most insidious aspect of inviting these illegals into the country. They don't want to pay for it. They want you to pay for it. And they're happy to say so. Thanks for listening to 93 WIBC. Coming up next, the one and only Carl's Conspiracy Corner. Don't miss it.
So it's been a few weeks using the 3-step system from the Good Feet store, and it has been incredible. The Good Feet store. You've heard me talk about it. You've driven by it many times, and you're like, what is that place? That's the place to go to get rid of pain, because the pain is emanating from your foot. The issues with your knees, your hips, your lower back, that's because your foot doesn't have the proper support. The arches aren't they're not being taken care of. And with the Good Feet store and their free, no-obligation personalized fitting, you get started on your path to feeling better all the way up and down your body. And now when I wear my Good Feet arch supports made in the USA, 100% US origin materials with a lifetime warranty, it's massaging. It's amazing. It's a 3-step system and you gotta commit yourself to the system. But the result, it's fantastic. Talk to the Good Feet store about that plantar fasciitis, about that knee or hip pain. Talk to one of their arch support specialists today. The Good Feet store has 2 Indy area locations, at Clearwater at the Crossing and in Greenwood just off 65. Online at goodfeet.com. That's goodfeet.com.
It's a new year,
Ready for a fresh start or career reboot? At My Computer Career, prep for a more recession-resistant future in the high-demand fields of IT, cybersecurity, in months, not years, including AI. Whether you're starting out or switching careers, no prior training is needed. Attend school online from home or on campus. Go to mycomputercareer.edu to take the free career evaluation today. mycomputercareer.edu, an elite CompTIA certification partner. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
Fox News, I'm Gianna Gelosi. President Trump speaking with Minnesota leaders to try to put an end to the unrest in the state, deploying his border czar Tom Homan to lead ICE operations.
He will be reporting directly to the president. Border Patrol Commander Gregory Bovino had been acting as the Border Patrol lead here, even hosting daily press conferences, really the face of the operation here. But Bovino is now returning to be sector chief in El Centro, California, and other Border Patrol agents are leaving as well.
Fox's Matt Finn, at least 34 people dead after that massive winter storm. It's still bringing bone-chilling temperatures nationwide. Fox Weather's Melanie Black in Boston, where almost 2 feet of snow fell.
And that snow is not going anywhere anytime soon. Our Fox Weather Forecast Center is calling for high temperatures in the 20s and overnight lows in the single digits this week.
America's listening to Fox News.
PA Jewelers at the farmhouse in Brownsburg. It's a no-pressure situation for me because I got 2 big birthdays coming up, my wife and my daughter, but I know exactly where I'm going to get them the perfect birthday presents. PA Jewelers gets a laid-back, non-pretentious shopping experience, and I'm going to save a lot of money. It's a huge selection, one-of-a-kind vintage and antique pieces, as well as new and custom pieces and special local jewelry artist pieces made just for you and I. PAJewelers.jewelry. That's PAJewelers.jewelry.
Have you been dreaming of kitchen updates since the new year began? My friends at Hope Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling want you to love your plumbing. Update your faucets, fixtures, water heaters, and more with $100 off a $500 plus plumbing service. Make your remodel dreams or small home update wishes come true and start to love your plumbing again. Call and schedule an appointment today at 317-641-HOPE or visit them online at hopeplumbing.com.
Attention, Class B CDL drivers. Are you looking to work for a company that provides you with a great starting wage, outstanding benefits, and a generous retirement plan? Irving Materials Incorporated is currently hiring ready-mix truck drivers. If you are a CDL Class B driver, visit driveimi.com today to learn about the job opportunities at IMI. CDL Class B drivers. For a new start in 2026, visit driveimi.com. driveimi.com. driveimi.com.
Join us every Friday right around 5:50 for Beer Sample Friday.
Brought to you by Thompson Furniture and Mattress in Columbus, home of free delivery within 75 miles of their store.
Do you need furnace or heat pump service? Need to find a local well-trained expert you can trust, like Price Point Comfort Heating and Cooling? We'll find that independent American Standard Air dealer at IndyHomeComfort.com.
We're all different. 1 in 5 of us live with a mental illness. Don't filter who you are. Talk to someone you trust. Learn more at bringchangetomind.org.
This is Saturday Night on The Circle on 93 WIBC.
Welcome back to Saturday Night on The Circle, where I'm your bohemian codger, Ethan Hatcher, and my podcasts are uploaded to WIBC.com and my personal podcasting page, Saturday Night on The Circle.fireside.fm. And we're streaming live on the YouTube machine 7 to 9 every Saturday night. Hop in the chat and join the fun. The dream of indictments stemming from the Epstein files release is quickly fading as the FBI announced their conclusion that Jeffrey Epstein was not running the largest pedophile sex trafficking ring in history for wealthy connected politicians and industrialists, instead saying that no actionable information is contained in the DOJ's numerous records. Attorney General Pam Blondy offered fiery testimony before the House Judiciary Committee, deflecting questions and refusing to offer any clarity on the DOJ's decision not to indict, instead choosing to focus on the Dow Jones Industrial Average and engaging in name-calling spats with representatives. Exposing the billionaire pedophile class of politicians and industrialists with their sordid web of lies and complex, decades-spanning cover-up schemes is the one and only guardian against the globalists, producer Carl, who joins us for another edition of Carl's Conspiracy Corner.
You're listening to Carl's Conspiracy Corner. The truth is out there.
Have you ever seen a commie drink a glass of water?
Well, yeah, I can't say I have.
The views expressed by Conspiracy Carl are those of Carl and Carl alone. They are not the views of this station or its distributors. I mean, obviously.
Deep beneath the streets of Indianapolis, from an undisclosed broadcasting bunker, we're joined by the voice of producer Carl, who has quite a few things to say about the Epstein files scandal as it continues to grow, and the Trump administration has let us down immensely. Thanks for being on the show, Carl.
Hey, it's great to be here. I'm glad that you mentioned in the intro about how there's no actionable intelligence to go after these guys because it's all over the place.
Yeah, no, that's hilarious. Joe Rogan calling it the gaslightiest BS that he's ever heard. I tend to agree. I mean, the DOJ admitted that there were more than 1,000 girls that were trafficked through Jeffrey Epstein, but now they're telling us that evidently those girls were trafficked to nobody. They weren't for himself. And in the email dump that they've released, you've got these influential billionaires, industrialists, tech moguls who are all saying that they want to party on Epstein Island. Well, what do you think they're doing in the party? And even if they say that, okay, the bar is not met for prosecutorial action, we can humiliate these people for the rest of all time, and they should be exposed. But Department of Justice ain't budging on that one. And that is, I think, the most stunning development that's come from the Epstein files this week.
Well, it's a party with a lot of pizza, Ethan. And when we talk about pizza, of course, we're talking about the infamous Pizzagate, which the M5M said back in 2016 was a debunked conspiracy theory. But what the document dump has exposed, that it wasn't a conspiracy theory at all.
Well, yeah, you had some of these people that were emailing Jeffrey Epstein about cheese pizza. Who thinks that they are emailing this financier about something that they could get from, the corner Little Caesars? They're not asking Jeffrey Epstein for a pizza. They're asking him for pizza.
Yeah. So let's play the audio. This is from Tucker Carlson. Let's play the audio.
This is an exchange between Jeffrey Epstein and, we think, a urologist, and I'm quoting, and they're going back and forth on stuff, and he says, I'm back. Can call you in Stendra 100 at Zitmer. Now, Stendra is apparently an erectile dysfunction drug, and he's prescribing it to Jeffrey Epstein, who apparently needs it. And Epstein writes, how many? And the doctor writes back, 10. After you use them, let's go get pizza and grape soda. Call me. So to all the people who dismissed out of hand this conspiracy theory about Pizzagate, it had nothing to do with sex or kids or anything illicit at all. It wasn't a code word. Here you have apparently Jeffrey Epstein's urologist telling him that after you take your erectile dysfunction drug, wash your hands and join me for pizza and grape soda. Okay, now.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
No sense at all. When is your doctor talking to you about eating drugs and then going out to have some pizza?
Yeah. Nobody believes that. The cover up at this point is cartoonish. It's blatant. It's barely a cover up at all because it's out in the open at this point. Nobody who's paying attention, nobody who has invested in the conversation surrounding the Epstein files going on back, since at least 2019, if not slightly before, actually believes that there is nothing actionable in those files, especially when you have sitting U.S. senators who say, now I understand what the big deal is after they've seen the unredacted versions. And I don't even believe that the files that the representatives are getting are wholly unredacted either. I think this goes way up to the top.
They're not.
Yeah.
So I heard, I think it's Rokana, he was saying that the files that he saw in the SCIF were redacted. And he said the reason why they're redacted is that the FBI provided the DOJ with the documents, and the FBI had it redacted. So they're still redacted, and they're redacted to basically provide cover for all of these wealthy businessmen who had been dealing with Jeffrey Epstein in these pizza parties.
I think that's the smoking gun here, because we've said for years that this goes to, the very top, the upper echelon of government, of industry, billionaires who have lots of money to throw around, and the best lawyers that money can buy to help them do it. And just the fact that they're now saying that there's no actionable information contained in this treasure trove of depravity, I think is indicative of just how deep this scandal goes. Because the only people that would be capable of a cover-up of this magnitude are the people who are in government, are the people who are behind the scenes and have their fingers on the levers.
Well, here is the nature of the cover-up and the blackmail. The argument that Trump is associated with the child sex rings is ridiculous, because if he was, that would have been brought up a way long time ago, and Trump would have never been our president back in 2016. Where the blackmail is that they're telling Trump is, hey, if you really go after these guys, they're going to take down the economy. And that's the only thing that you got going for you as a businessman, the economy and the deals that you're making. That is why Pam Blondy made these subtle threats. Let's play the audio, Pam Blondy.
The Dow right now is over. The Dow is over $50,000. I don't know why you're laughing. You're a great stock trader, as I hear, Raskin. The Dow is over 50,000 right now. The S&P at almost 7,000. And the NASDAQ smashing records. Americans' 401ks and retirement savings are booming. That's what we should be talking about. We should be talking about making Americans safe. We should be talking about, what does a Dow have to do with anything? That's what they just asked. Are you kidding?
Mr. Jordan, Mr. Jordan, committee.
I played this audio earlier on the show because it's so utterly shameless. And yeah, they're economically connected. That's what they're holding over our heads.
Basically, if you ensnare these guys that are involved in Jeffrey Epstein in the child prostitution rings, you're going to take down the entire economy, because that's how deep this goes. And that's what's really sick about all of this is look at the guys in power, not only political power, but economic power. And they were involved in this stuff.
What a joke. So not only do we have billionaire politicians and their industrialists running around and influencing government behind the scenes, but then she's also bragging, we've also made them millions of more dollars on the Dow Jones Industrial. That's just wonderful. So not only are they sick pedophiles, but they're profiting immensely in the process. And the Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson, already gave away the game. Several others have given away the game that if they were to reveal the true contents of these files, that it would bring down several governments, several countries around the world at this point, because that's how deep the scandal goes. He was the foremost financier and connected pedophile provider for the governments.
Now, I want to go back before we run out of time. I want to go back to the original Pizzagate scandal that was supposedly debunked. So anyways, we all remember what caused the Pizzagate, or where the information began, and that was from Anthony Weiner's laptop. Before the Hunter laptop, there was the Weiner laptop, and there were all these references to pizza, hot dogs, and grape soda. And this man, his name was Edgar Madison. He went to Comet Pizza in Washington, D.C., where supposedly the Democrats were keeping children in the basement, and shot up the place. Now, nobody was injured in the shooting except one of the hard drives in the office. That hard drive got hit by a bullet, but nobody else did. And he came out and he said, I guess there were no children in the pizza place. I guess I was wrong. Now, here's the kicker. Edgar Madison was killed just before this latest Epstein doc drop. Go look it up. Edgar Madison, the guy behind the Pizzagate shooting at Comet Pizza in D.C., was shot and killed by police a week before this document dump. So I don't think there's any coincidences. They didn't want him around to say basically he was a patsy put up to shoot up this place and that it was all real.
No, that sounds like a Seth Rich situation all over again with him and Hillary Clinton and the DNC.
We'd like to talk to him, but he's dead now.
Oh, well, whoopsie daisy. That's how it goes.
Yeah. Well, anyways, here's the gaslighting is, of course, is it's in America's public face, and they're not going to do anything about it.
No, and now that the DOJ has had time with the files, they've had time to scrub any incriminating information, and the government has told you flat out to your face that they're not going to do anything about this. No prosecutions are going to come of this, and at this point, they're going to let the story slow fade and die. It might not ever fade from public memory, but it will certainly fade from the politicians' attention. And Donald Trump, he's already moved on. He's already done. He said it's a hoax. It's a waste of time. They are making a show of releasing the documents, and then they're going to wash their hands of it and call it a day. And we're just never going to see any resolution. That's the sad part from this.
Oh, what a happy note on Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's Day, everybody. And thanks for coming on the show again, Carl.
Thank you so much, Ethan. Talk to you later.
Stay tuned to 93 WIBC. Coming up next, I'm going to tell you about one man's extreme hobby finally paying off in a wonderful way as he's going to get his time to shine in the sun as it's being displayed in a museum. Stay tuned for that on 93 WIBC, Saturday night on The Circle.
Greetings from R&R Agency, your Indiana health insurance pros, and a sincere thank you to our loyal customers for helping us to another record year. We recently saved a 62-year-old retiring couple over $800 monthly when compared to their COBRA offerings. We recently saved a family of 4 over $400 monthly when compared to their $7,500 deductible program on the ACA, and you know that's still Obamacare. We recently saved a small 4-man manufacturing company over $1,000 monthly and gave them better coverage. We feature coverages guaranteed to age 65, low out-of-pocket expenses, the largest networks in the country, and you can sign up anytime. If you are retiring early, self-employed, or need coverage for your small group, call us at 317-563-0868 or go to rragency.org. If you don't call us, we can't help you. What do you got to lose? Call us 317-563-0868 or go to rragency.org. As always, God bless America, common sense government, and peace too strict.
It's JMV. We just had the largest single snowfall in decades. Temps are starting to climb, and that means the thawing will take place and that water ends up in your sump pump. If your pump is old, loud, and who knows if it even works, call the best in plumbing, LD Smith Plumbing and Drains. They're running a great deal right now. Buy a battery backup system and get a free sump pump installed. That's LD Smith Plumbing and Drains.
LD Smith Plumbing.
A dirty, stinking honest.
In a divided world, music remains our most powerful bridge, an art form that shows us again and again that we belong to one another. Music is the one language the world already shares. It crosses borders, dissolves fear, and reminds us of our common heartbeat. In every culture, in every generation, people turn to music to celebrate, to mourn, to heal, and to hope. It gathers strangers in community and transforms audiences into one collective breath. The Denise Graves Foundation stands where history, artistry, and humanity meet, illuminating untold stories, empowering future legends, and building a world where talent rises because of potential. The world is full of brilliance. We're here to make sure it is never hidden.
Get ready, Indy. Leonard Skinner and Foreigner team up for the Double Trouble Vision Tour live at Ruoff Music Center on Friday, August 7th with special guest Six Gun Sally. Find more details on WIBC.com.
You're listening to Saturday Night on The Circle on 93 WIBC.
Thanks for listening to Saturday Night on The Circle. I'm your Bohemian codger, Ethan Hatcher. Thanks for spending your Saturday evening with me on Valentine's Day. I really appreciate it. I hope you had fun with your loved one, with your special other, or if with nobody else, I hope you treated yourself on this Valentine's Day. Producer Kylan knows a thing or two about my hobbies. I have several of them. I like to collect antiques. We're going to be having another antique show and tell on the First Day show tomorrow. I have a bunch of different antiques. I also collect specifically antique phonographs. I have a huge variety of those. I got like 50 machines back at the house. I got like 3,000, 4,000 discs at this point. Yeah.
Thousands?
Yeah, it's starting to be a problem. They're all stacked up in milk crates. I'm running out of space at the house. I'm having to store a few at the office. They're heavy. Like those milk crates, when you fill them up end to end, weigh between 50 and 60 pounds just for 100 discs. It's a lot.
Oh gosh, it sounds like you need to get a house or a property simply for Ethan's Antique Museum.
I am here for it, Kylan. I want to get a nice historic property, renovate it, and then display all my nice antiques. Maybe one of these days, if I eventually get rich being a landlord, I'll be able to do that. But right now, it's costing me more money to be a landlord than it's making me. I am spending a lot of money on these freaking buildings right now, and then a lot of bums not wanting to pay me. But that's another story. That's another day. But that kind of brushes up against this topic. There is a truck driver in New York, has a really cool hobby that he's been doing since I think at least 2004, and it is a building adjacent hobby. I really connect with this, producer Kylan. I also spend time recreating buildings in Minecraft, which are like digital Lego box. I've got my own server. I've been working one by one, building some city blocks in Pittsburgh. I've got like the Citizens Bank building that's constructed, the Henry Clay Frick building, the Union Trust building, the Omni William Penn Hotel, the Allegheny County Courthouse, the Allegheny City County building.
Goodness.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Which one was the hardest? All of those sound very complex.
Probably the Union Trust building, because there's like a lot of ornamentation.
I believe that.
And then
doing
trying
it
to
with square blocks.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
That's the trick, trying to like represent and then get all the dimensions in there with square blocks. And that's why I really appreciate the work of Joe Mackin. And I know, Kylan, this story is going to make you smile.
In the spring of 2004, a truck driver named Joe Mackin descended his basement stairs in Clifton Park, New York, with a simple idea: to see if he could build something cool out of balsa wood.
Just to build one building. That was my goal.
He decided on a miniature replica of the RCA building in New York City's Rockefeller Center.
And that was going to be it? That was it. And then the next day, I built another one.
Built another one?
And then I built another one.
Was there at some point in this whole process where you ever thought to yourself, I've gone too far?
Never.
Not even after he built all of Rockefeller Center. Not even after he built all of Midtown. Not even after he built all of Manhattan. Eventually, Joe urban sprawled his way to this storage facility.
Oh my.
Each one of those squares represents about 1 square mile of New York City. And for more than 2 decades now, they have just been piling up. And what were you going to do with this?
I was just going to look at it. I don't know what I was going to do. I had no plans. I mean, I never imagined it being in a museum.
And yet, here we are.
For the first time, Joe's Little Apple is going on display in the Big Apple, here at the Museum of the City of New York.
The exhibit includes all 5 boroughs, every site and stadium, every bridge and building, almost 1 million structures, all carved by that one man.
But the most amazing statistic is you're still married to the same woman.
Yes. Yes.
Well, how do you explain that?
I don't know. It's a miracle.
That's a good word for it.
Joe says Trish has been remarkably understanding, at least so far.
I'll just keep going. I'll build all of New York State if I have to. It'll never be finished, ever.
Joe Mackin didn't set out to create a masterpiece, and yet here a masterpiece lies before him. Because greatness is really nothing more than 1 million tiny steps, and occasionally a spouse to at least tolerate the journey.
Doesn't that story just put a smile on your face, Kylan?
Aw, in the very end, and a spouse to just take it. Oh, well. Happy Valentine's Day to all of the people who are also doing the same.
Yeah.
Putting up with it.
Yeah. I mean, what a saintly woman. Of course, you can't see the size of this thing on the radio. He's broken it up into little, like 1 meter long square blocks. but the full thing is the size of a large room. And I'm not talking about like a large room for a house. I'm talking about a large room for a museum. The thing is huge. He's got all of Manhattan represented. I think he's got some of Hoboken, the New Jersey side represented too. It's absolutely gigantic. And then when you pull back the perspective, the scale of this thing is gigantic. The patience of this man to spend all that time with balsa wood is really cool. I wish I could go see this in the museum, Kylan.
It's worth looking up the picture of it. Joe Macken's model of New York City. That is phenomenal.
Impressive, isn't it? And it's how cool is that he was just doing this for himself. He wasn't doing this for anybody else, but now he's getting his time in the sun. He's got people paying attention to the art, the craftsmanship, and he's getting it displayed in a museum, which I just think is such a happy ending to the story.
And I love it even more that he's a native to Queens. It's not just like some random person like, let's just remodel this city. It's a cool city. I mean, it's New York City, but it's a native thing. That's cool.
Yeah, it makes it a little bit more special than me just picking Pittsburgh to start building in the Minecraft.
No.
I'm not from Pittsburgh.
Give yourself more
build
credit.
It anyway. Thanks for listening to 93 WIBC. I'll leave you with my parting words of wisdom. Wherever you are, whoever you're with, whatever you're doing, remember that life is a state of mind.
Don Fisher for QC Kinetics. I was struggling with chronic knee pain and wasn't encouraged with the options of risky surgery and pain pills. QC Kinetics offered the best option for me, cutting-edge regenerative medicine. Their non-invasive treatment stimulated my body's own biologics so I could be pain-free and get back to doing what I love, playing golf. QC Kinetics has a fantastic success rate, and it's clear to see why so many Hoosiers are happy to tell their story of how they reclaim their lives with the QC Kinetics approach. Ready to live your life pain-free? Go to qckinetics.com/Indianapolis or call 317-559-PAIN and get a no-obligation consultation. QC Kinetics uses the latest technologies, whether it's stem cell, PRP, plasma, or a number of other advanced therapies. Call QC Kinetics. It'll be the best call you will make. Get back in the game, whatever that is for you. Call 317-559-PAIN.
Window Nation, Windows, WindowNation.com. Window Nation was recently ranked highest on Forbes' list of best window installation companies, so you can trust Window Nation for high-quality, affordable windows. That's what I did. They were in and out of my house within a day, replaced the whole front of my house with brand new windows, saving a ton on energy bills, keeping the cold air out and the warm air in with Window Nation and WindowNation.com.
Schedule your fast and free estimate right now with Window Nation. Go to their website, WindowNation.com. Shop around, find what you like, but take advantage of this deal. Buy 4, get 4 windows for free, and get an extra 10% off. And again, a fast and free estimate is available at WindowNation.com. But to get the deal, you have to tell them Hammer and Nigel sent you.
Show your home some love with Zero Res. 3 rooms of cleaning starting at $119 plus $75 off air duct cleaning. Book now at ZeroResIndy.com.
The Attorney General's Unclaimed Property Division has over $800 million just waiting to be claimed. Text Tony Katz to 46220 or visit